Hey everyone, gotcha here. Back with another tutorial. This one about water. The Human Fall Flat package includes this prefab. If you search for water, you can get this water square, which is good and all. However, if you're doing any level with a large amount of water, this is just not going to be big enough. So I want this tutorial to be about how to make a larger water square. And to do that, we're going to need to jump into Blender. So this is the default empty scene. I'm going to hit A and delete it all. And then I'm going to make my own cube. And I'm going to hit Tab to go right into the edit mode. I'm going to hit S, and I'm going to middle click while I'm going down to shrink it on the Z axis like that. I'm going to press G. I'm going to grab it. I'm actually going to make it bigger. But then I want to grab it and I want to put it just below the origin, the yellow dot like that. So that's the basic shape you want to start with for your water square. And then I'm going to click the loop cut tool. And I'm going to click just once like this and it'll cut it just like that. And I'm going to click this option down here and I'm going to increase this to whatever I want. For this purpose, 25. And that way it's just going to cut it 25 times. And I'm going to do that on the x-axis as well. Just going to increase that to 25. And that's going to be the basis for our water square. From here, I'm just going to save this Blender file as larger water square. And then I'm going to export it as an FBX, larger water square again. I'm going to export it into a folder where I know I'm going to find it. Going to jump back to Unity. Going to pause this scene and I'm going to go to the folder where I always put my Blender assets. I'm going to drop my larger water square FBX into this. I'm going to drag it into my scene. And to get all the components on here, the easiest way is just to copy and paste from the existing prefab we got. So I'm going to come over to the mesh renderer. I'm going to copy component. And then I'm going to paste component values for the mesh renderer here. Box collider, I'm just going to do its own box collider. But you'll notice if I come in to edit this one, the box collider is only on the top half of the prefab. And so on mine, I'm going to edit the box collider just to cover the top half of the prefab. And that just helps with the drowning mechanics. Coming back to this one, water renderer, copy component, paste component is new, and then water plane, copy component, paste component is new. Now I've already fixed mine, but normally this scale is set to 1, and your water plane will come out looking something like that. To fix it, just go into water, and you're going to set this to 0.01. This component right here, water renderer, it overrides this scale number with its own. So for yours, you're going to want to put 0.01 as well. Or let's say if you wanted smaller waves, you could put 0.05 or 0.0025. That'll give it really small waves if you're making a really big plane. But 0.01 is a good starting point. And the prefab, it's set to 1. So right now, it's not showing very many waves, but when I press play, it will revert back to the number that is in that component. So there you have it. I did forget one important step. You saw my guy bounced off the water instead of going into it. I need to mark is trigger here. And then I'm going to make this really big, so you can see what it's like. The waves are looking a little too big. I don't like the way they look like there. So I'm going to change this to 0.25. And it's big now, but it won't be big. This number will override this number once I hit play. See how that looks. Okay. There you go. That is a really big square of water. And again, you can adjust the wave size right here, increasing that number up or down will make the waves bigger or smaller. Now, what if you don't want a square? Now that is a good question. Let me show you right now. Delete all this. I'm going to show you how about a circle of water. I'll come over to icosphere. Instead of 2, I'm going to make that 4. I'm going to go to the horizontal view. I'm going to press Alt-Z to start an X-ray. And then I'm just going to delete all of these vertices down here at the bottom. Delete. I'm going to select all those. I'm going to hit S and then middle click as I'm going up, just because I want this up to be a flat plane. There we go. So I'll give us a nice circle. I'm going to grab this and bring it down just so it's below the orange dot like that. Then I'm going to click away, hold Alt, and click on the outside circle, and that'll let me select the ring of vertices on the outside. Go back, hit E, which will extrude, and then as I'm going down, middle click so it goes straight down, and I'll go down just 1 square. Perfect. Then I'm going to grab all these at the top, and I'm going to hold Shift D, and that'll duplicate them. And as I'm going down, I'm going to middle click, and I'm going to place these right there so it lines up with the bottom. And then I'm going to highlight all of these at the bottom, hit Alt-M, and this will merge some of these vertices. I'm going to hit by distance, and I'm just going to increase this by 1 or 2. It should say here at the bottom, removed 40 or however many vertices. And that's just showing that it's merged with the upper shape. And then the only thing left to do, if I come to here and I click this, this will show the normals. Not all the normals are facing the correct way. And don't worry if you don't know what that means. Just in edit mode, hit A, then hit Alt-N, and recalculate outside, and that'll fix everything for you. Okay, so that is now my circular water field. I can save as water circle, save as a Blender file, export FBX water circle, again somewhere where I know I'm going to be able to grab it. Going to jump over to Unity, get out of play mode, find my file, and drop it into my project, and then just go through the same process we did before. Forgot to make this one bigger, so I'm going to jump over here and hit 1,000 instead of 100 for all of those. Maybe I'll even actually do 5,000 just for safe. Okay, then I'm going to click over here, mesh renderer, copy component, paste component values. This one, the collider is tricky. Usually just use a box collider as well. Paste component as new. It's going to be way off, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be way off. So I'm going to have to come in here and fix my collider. And so this will, for the collider's sake, it's showing that the water is way outside where it should be. It'll usually work just fine this way. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Come on, let me fix that collider. But I'll just come in and make it like this. And if you don't want the player drowning in this water, then you don't even have to worry about doing the box collider step. Then I'm going to bring it up right around to there. I'm going to decrease this even further just so I can see what I'm doing here. 0, 2, 0, 1, 5. Awesome. So there's my box collider. Water plane, copy component, paste component as new, water renderer, copy component, paste component as new. And I want to set this to the wave height I want for the specific one, which I can see is 0, 0, 1, 5. Then I can jump into play mode. And I can see, hopefully if everything worked, that I have a circle of water now. Not really digging how wavy that is. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to say maybe 0.5. I'll cut it down to a third of that. Let's see. Great. A nice circle of water. And I also like doing this method too because it gives nice triangles and the waves look a little less predictable than doing it squares in a large way. So there you have it. Hope you can replicate this on your own, but just watch it a few times. I'm sure you can figure it out. And give me a shout on Twitter or on Discord if you want me to do any other kinds of tutorials. Thanks.